So, if you've been watching the news lately, you may have seen the report of Morgan Geyser, who was living in a group home under court supervision. She had an ankle monitor. She cut off the ankle monitor on Saturday evening and fled the interview. She's gone. Why was she in the group home? Who is she? I didn't know any of these things. I had not heard of this story. The original crime she was convicted of happened back in 2014. Now, how did she end up in this group home? I'm going to tell you the whole story behind Morgan Geyser. Now, the good news is she was this all happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin, but she was found in Posen, Illinois, which is quite a ways away, about 2.5 hours south of where she was in this group home. She was found, taken into custody, and I believe has a hearing this morning or sometime today to get her back to Waukesha, Wisconsin. Yeah. Anyway, what's the story? Well, first you got to watch the intro, and then we'll get right into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. No court going on this week. I have, and I haven't recorded in, I don't even remember the last time I recorded because I have brain fog from COVID that I've been suffering with for 3 weeks. So I'm feeling better now. And I heard about this news story and I'm like, what is going on here? So I decided, let me do a deep dive and tell you guys in case you don't remember this story. This is in Waukesha, Wisconsin back in 2014 and involves two perpetrators, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weir. They were charged with stabbing their friend, Peyton Bella-Lautner. So what was behind this? Well, this has to do, and it's also known as the Slender Man stabbings. Yeah. So who's Slender Man? Well, Slender Man is this urban legend. He's 14 feet tall, no face, wears a black suit. He's got these tentacles that come out of his back, and he will grab children and kill them. What? Yes. So, and it's said that he will kill your family unless you become one of his elite proxies and agree to murder somebody on his behalf. And then you can go live in his mansion that's said to be in this forest somewhere. What's the name of the forest? Nicollet Forest, which is in northern Wisconsin. He has a secret mansion in the forest. So how did Slender Man come about? Well, back in 2009, a website called somethingawful.com was having a Photoshop contest, and they wanted people to submit photos that appeared very realistic, that people would really believe were real, of paranormal images. So a guy named Eric Knudsen, under an alias Victor Surge, submits 2 images. Here are the 2 images, black and white images, pretty scary. Apparently there was text overlay on one of them, making it look like it was a real news story. And it's kind of disturbing, these photos. But after this, like, people just, started submitting their versions of the photo, and it goes viral. I don't know if he won the contest or not, but they started having apps with it, games, video games, fan fiction, fan art, and cosplay. People would dress up as Slender Man with tentacles coming out. Yeah, how creepy is that? So, fast forward to 2014, and we have Morgan Geyser. Now, Morgan and her friend Anissa believed in the Slender Man. Now, what's the story behind Morgan? Morgan, she's kind of a loner. She goes to school. She's known the victim, Peyton Lautner, since kindergarten. Round about 4th grade, Peyton kind of feels sorry for Morgan because Morgan's kind of a loner. She's sitting alone at lunch, and Peyton decides, I'm going to be friends with her. She goes and sits with her, and they become fast friends. In the 6th grade, though, along comes Anissa. Now, Anissa lives in the same apartment complex as Morgan, so they become friends. They're riding the school bus together. So the three of them now, it's a threesome now instead of just the twosome. But Peyton believes that Anissa doesn't treat Morgan so well, and she's kind of upset by that. And there's a little bit of drama surrounding that. And also, Peyton does not buy into the Slender Man thing. Her mom sat her down, explained to her, this is not real. And she knew it wasn't real. But Morgan and Alyssa, they were all in on this Slender Man thing. They believed that they wanted to become his elite proxy, kill on his behalf to protect their family, and they wanted to prove that he was real. So they hatched this plot to kill Peyton as proxy of Slenderman. Then they were going to run away to Slenderman's secret mansion in this forest up in northern Wisconsin. So how are they going to do this? They planned this thing for 6 months. Yeah, that's a lot. That's premeditation, folks. At Morgan's 12th birthday party on May 30th of 2014, normal. They're going to go for a skate. They're going to the skating rink. Morgan's dad drives Peyton, Anissa, and Morgan to the skating rink. They have pizza. They do their, roller rink stuff. And afterwards, Morgan's father drives them back to the house for a sleepover. They go in, they're playing with their American Girl dolls, playing dress up, what 12-year-olds typically do. And usually when you have a sleepover, you're like, you're not going to stay up all night. We're going to play. No. Morgan says, no, I'm tired. Let's go to bed. Because the plan was that Anissa and Morgan were to wake up at 2 a.m., put duct tape over Peyton's mouth, stab her, then put the covers over her like she would be sleeping, and then they were going to flee to the mansion. So, and did I mention that when packing for the sleepover, Anissa had packed water bottles, granola bars, and family photos so she wouldn't forget her family. This was for the trip to the mansion. So they go to bed. At 2 a.m., Anissa wakes up Morgan, and Morgan's like, no, I need to sleep. Change of plans. So following morning, Morgan's mother she serves donuts, strawberries. Boy, the woman went all out. What happened to pancakes? Anyway, she goes all out, and then they decide they're going to go play at David's Park. Now, Anissa ahead of time had scouted out David's Park and thought, well, the bathroom has a drain in it, so let's kill her there. So before they leave, Morgan slips a vegetable knife into the waistband of her pants. She pulls up her shirt and she kind of shows it to Anissa. And then they leave. They go play at David's Park. So they get Peyton into the bathroom. They're like, come on, let's come into the stall. There's some graffiti in here. You got to see this. So they all get into the stall. Anissa says, I don't want to hear Peyton screaming. So Morgan says, well, just go to sleep. Well, you're not going to sleep in a bathroom stall. So she says, so she tries to knock out Peyton, hits her, slams her head into the wall, tries to knock her unconscious, doesn't work. So change of plans. Now, I don't know how Peyton didn't leave at this point. I don't know, but they decide they're going to go bird watching and play hide and seek in the woods. Now, if my friends had just tried to knock me unconscious, I'm not sure I'd be in the mood for hide and seek, but okay, we're going to roll with this one. So they go out into the forest at David Park, and Morgan's going to be the seeker. Peyton and Anissa are going to be hiding. So Anissa tells Peyton, lay on the ground with your face down and cover yourself with leaves. And Peyton says, no, I'm not doing that. So Anissa knocks her to the ground and sits on her. So here comes Morgan, and Morgan hands Anissa the knife, and then Anissa's like, no, I'm too squeamish. I can't do this. So she hands the knife back to Morgan and encourages her to murder Peyton by saying, go crazy, go ballistic. So she does. She stabs Peyton 19 times. The girls in court were asked to estimate how many times they thought they stabbed Morgan, and they came up with 17. They were pretty close. Anyway, she was stabbed in the chest, the arms, the legs, the abdomen. So Peyton tries to get up and walk towards the street, and the girls are like, no, you need to lay back down. You'll lose less blood this way. We're going to go for help. So they leave, and they're off on their quest to find the mansion because they figure she's just going to die there. They leave her to die. Peyton's not dead. She's alert, and she drags herself to this bike path, and a bicyclist comes by, Greg Steinberg, and he sees her, and he calls 911. Here is that call.
Rivera.
It's chilling.
Came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Okay.
Are you still there? Yeah. I'm transferring over a caller on Big Bend at the dead end just south of Rivera.
Okay.
Came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yes.
Hi, sir. So are you with this 12-year-old female?
Yeah, she says she's having trouble breathing. She said she was stabbed multiple times.
Stabbed multiple times?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Are you with her right now?
Yes.
Is she awake?
She's awake.
Is she breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing. She said she can take shallow breaths. She's alert.
Okay, stay with her. We're sending the police department. Don't hang up, okay?
Oh,
hold on just a minute. Don't hang up.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on just a minute, sir. We're sending officers.
Okay.
Is there any assailant around?
I didn't even look. I don't see anybody.
It's a dead end. Okay, stay right with her, sir. Is she on the ground or is she standing up?
No, she's laying on the grass.
Laying on the grass. Stay right with her. Just let me know if she is remaining conscious or not, okay?
Okay.
Is there any bleeding going on?
Her clothing has got blood on it.
Where are the wounds? Do you see where the wounds are?
No, I don't know if I should be rolling her over and checking or not. Do you know where?
Okay, just stay with her and just let me know if she's conscious or alert or stops breathing or anything. Hold on, I'm going to talk to the ambulance. Police are also en route.
Okay, thank you. Somebody's coming. I'm bothering you at all? My shade? Okay. You're very
Okay. Just keep her in that position. Just let me know on her breathing.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
My name?
Your name?
My name, Greg.
Greg. Okay, were you just passing through?
Yes.
Okay, and you found her and she was just laying there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you see any active bleeding or blood spurting out or anything like that?
No, unless it's underneath her. I just see just dried blood.
Okay, just dried blood. Okay. Okay, is she still breathing? Is she still alert?
Yeah.
Okay, stay with her.
Yep.
Stay with her. Keep an eye on her. Hold on just a minute. Do not hang up, sir.
Okay, I will not. Any minute. Somebody will help you. Who did that to you? Or don't you want to talk? Well, if it's better not to talk, then don't talk with your energy.
And she didn't say who did this or how it happened?
I don't know. I don't know if she wants to be talking. I started to ask her, and then
that's okay. If she's
got to save her energy, I think.
Okay, but you see nobody else around you. Are you clearly visible when they pull down that road towards the dead end that they'll see you?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Are you clearly visible when they come down there so they see you?
I got a strobe flashlight on my bicycle. I'll shine that towards any emergency vehicle I see. And I'll be standing in the middle of the road.
You're in the middle of the road, and where's she, in the side of the road?
Yeah, she's on the grass. It's a little trail I take on my bicycle.
Okay, see. Don't hang up, sir. Just stay right with me.
Okay.
And let me know immediately if you see anything else suspicious in the area, a car, a person, anything.
All right.
Keep your eyes open. Was anyone coming or leaving, or any cars coming or leaving when you came upon her?
No.
Nothing?
No.
So were you on foot walking by, or did you pull up in a car?
Bicycle.
You're on a bicycle?
Yeah.
How did you see her? Did you just...
She's right in the middle of the little path I take.
Middle of the little path. Okay.
Yeah. There's a squad car coming now.
Okay, the squad car coming? Okay, flag the squad car down, protect her.
There he's coming.
Does she have a bike or anything with her?
No, I don't see it. One sandal is off. But, maybe 3 feet away from her.
Okay, flag that officer down. I'm going to let you go. Okay, you meet with him right now, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
That is chilling, isn't it? Very, very chilling. Peyton is taken to the hospital where, she tells them this was Morgan and Anissa. So now the police are looking for Morgan and Anissa. Meanwhile, Morgan and Anissa, covered in blood, they stop at a Walmart to wash off and refill their water bottles for their trip to the mansion. They are later apprehended on an on-ramp for I-94, covered in blood. The knife was discovered in Morgan's backpack. They're taken into custody, placed into separate rooms for interviews. Meanwhile, Morgan is at the hospital. She has punctures in her stomach, her liver, and her pancreas. She required 6 hours of surgery. They were afraid that her heart had been punctured. It came within a hair's breadth, like millimeters. That the doctor said if it had been like a sliver of a hair closer to the heart, she'd be dead. So no damage to the heart. Thank God. So Peyton does recover. She's in college now. Meanwhile, back in the interrogation room, Morgan tells the police officers, she said, I thought I would feel remorse, but I don't. I don't feel any remorse.
Truth be told, I wanted to be locked up so that I couldn't hurt her, but that time has passed and now I'm in here because we were careless. I knew this would happen. I knew we'd get in trouble.
Well, we're just trying to sort this all right now to figure out what all happened. So you want to get locked up so you can control?
I didn't really genuinely want to be locked up, but at one point I sort of did. It seemed...
So you guys decided a while ago that in the sleepover night that this is what you do it?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was your sleepover night that you're
Because we would all be together. It was a flawless plan, actually. I don't know exactly why, though.
So you guys got the knife from your mom's house. You guys ended up going to the park.
Yeah.
And then you guys went down by the woods. Why did you guys go over by the woods?
Because we knew what we had to do. We led her there and tricked her. The last thing she said to me was, "I trusted you." And then she said, "I hate you." And then we lied to her. Anissa said that she'd go get help. I didn't have anything to do with the lying. Well, that was all Anissa. She said we were going to go get help.
How did you trick her to get down there?
We said that we were going to go bird watching. People who trust you become very gullible, and it was sort of sad. Not like offensive, well, that's sad, but it was sad to do this.
So you guys totally went on that bird watch, and then what happened?
And then we said that we were going to play hide and seek, and then Anissa jumped her, and then it was like, it happened really fast, and I keep trying to forget.
So you're gonna play hide and seek?
Mm-hmm. Because normally we like playing hide and seek, because hide and seek's a fun game. I like hiding.
So and then Anissa jumped her?
Mm-hmm. And she said Morgan now. Well, actually she said Kitty, because our code names for each other were Scorpion and Kitty. She was Scorpion because she tends to be aggressive, things like that.
So she said Kitty now, and what did that mean?
My name was Kitty because, well, she sort of, I have 4 cats at home, and she says that I act like a cat sometimes.
So when she said Kitty now, what did she do?
Then we stabbed her.
Who stabbed her first?
I think Anissa stabbed her first, and then I continued, and then like she was like, "Morgan, make sure she doesn't escape," and then it was like,
So you think that it was Anissa first?
Mhm.
You sure?
Yeah. Not really. Sort of confusing because I've been trying to block out the screams all day.
So how many times, so then how did you get the knife from Anissa?
She sort of just shoved it into my hand, and there it was. And then I didn't know what I did. It sort of just happened. It didn't feel like anything. It was like air.
So she put the knife in your hand, or what'd you do?
And I just continued to. You know what happened, didn't you?
No, I actually really don't. Somebody else is talking to her. So you continued to stab her?
Mm-hmm. And then we decided that, and then Anissa said that it was enough, and then Bella was like, I can't see, and then I said, I'm sorry. This had to happen, and she was like, why? And then I said that it was necessary. I can't explain why. Please don't cut off my head.
Nobody's gonna cut off your head. So you guys, how many times do you think you stabbed her?
I don't know. It happened very quickly. All I heard was screaming.
How many times did you guess?
I don't know. And she kept whispering, I can't see, over and over and over and over again. I can still hear it. I see it if I close my eyes. I kind of moved her away from the road, and her blood got on me and then on my shirt.
So when she was standing trying to get to the street, you kind of like redirected her away from the street because you didn't want anyone to see. And you had told her
lay down and be quiet so the blood slower. And that we're going to get help.
But you really weren't going to get her help, right?
No.
So it was estimated that the girls had walked a total of 2 miles, not near enough to get them to this forest where they believed Slender Man to be. In any case, both of the girls attempt to be tried as children instead of adults. And the judge was not having it. He's like, no, no, no. They premeditated this thing for 6 months. We're trying them as adults. So they both plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Now, how is that? What does that mean? That means at the time you committed the crime, you could not distinguish between right and wrong. Like you couldn't appreciate the consequences of your actions. Versus they were both found competent to stand trial, which means they understand the proceedings and they can assist with their defense. But they were declaring that at the time of the murders, they were basically insanity. They're pleading insanity. So Morgan, she pleads out. She's like, okay, I'm pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. The judge finds her not guilty by reason of insanity. She did not want a trial. She was sentenced to 40 years of prison time and supervision. However, because of the insanity plea, it's in a mental hospital. So she is transferred to a mental hospital. Anissa, she wants a trial. So the jury found her not guilty by reason of insanity as well. She was sentenced to 25 years. Recently, I think 2021, that's not really recently, 2021, Morgan was found to no longer be a threat to the community. And I'm going to explain why that is. And she was released. But she will have to wear an ankle monitor. The conditions of her release were that she wear the ankle monitor until she is 37 years old. She has to live with her father. She cannot leave the county, and no social media. No social media. Can you imagine? Yeah. So the judge had said, no, she's no longer a threat to the community. And now, why is that? Well, psychiatrists told the judge, because they were both examined, the psychiatrist told the judge that Morgan was suffering from schizophrenia. Now, Morgan's mother, she had recently lost she was a hospital worker. She had recently lost her job. Her dad suffered from schizophrenia. He was on disability, but Morgan did not know this. And, teachers described Morgan as being very disruptive in class. She would throw insects at other people. She would bark like a dog. And when they said something to Morgan's mom, she's like, oh, she's just, she marches to the beat of her own drum. She's just a little quirky. So no alarm bells were going off that, hey, maybe she's inherited this condition from her father. But she is ultimately diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I say ultimately, it took them 2 years to get her on medication. 2 years. What? Yeah, 2 years. She finally gets on medication. She is sentenced to a mental hospital. Now, recently, in March of this year, she was deemed to no longer be a threat to the community. She was placed in a group home, from which Saturday night she escaped. Now, she had an ankle monitor on, which she would have to wear for probably the rest of her life. She would be under court supervision. So she cuts the ankle monitor off Saturday night and she flees. Yesterday, Monday, November 23rd, she's found at a truck stop and in Illinois, like southern Chicago, Posen, Illinois. So now she's in custody in Illinois, waiting to be transported back to Wisconsin. There's a hearing today. to make all that logistically happen. So, but Morgan, as a child, mom said, she would have hallucinations. She would see ghosts at night. Now, when you have schizophrenia, you're not, it's a thought disorder, and you're not perceiving things realistically, like as they are. Psychiatrist said she was suffering from oppositional defiant disorder. And I listened to a psychiatrist who agreed with that diagnosis. So somebody with oppositional defiant disorder, they're very callous. They disregard the rights of others. They have no empathy. And it's said that Morgan never had any empathy during her childhood for others. So probably this is the correct diagnosis. But what the psychiatrist said was that they try not to put diagnoses on people early in life before 18 years old, psychotic diagnoses, because the brain is not fully developed yet. So then they go with this oppositional defiant disorder, which is an early form of psychosis. Anyway, Morgan believed she could talk to Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. She said Professor Snape would come to visit her. She said she was not afraid of prison because she could use Vulcan mind control to go anywhere she wanted. In her locker at school, they found drawings of Slender Man and a notebook where she recorded, "I want to die and help me escape my mind." Does this sound familiar? Like, these are red flags. Nobody looked at that notebook. In her bedroom, there were drawings of Slender Man and mutilated dolls where she would just rip the heads and the limbs off the dolls. Computer searches she had done were how to get away with murder, what kind of insane am I? And she even emailed Anissa to, don't forget to delete your browser before we leave for the forest. Don't forget to delete your internet browser. They found that Anissa was suffering from PTSD and depression, and this rare disorder, very rare. The psychiatrist that I listened to said she had not seen this in 10 years. She saw one case of this, and it's called a shared psychotic disorder. And this is where someone who's normal, healthy mind and everything takes on the delusion of another person. And in this case, they felt like Anissa had taken on the delusion, Morgan's delusion of Slender Man. And in order for this to really occur, this has to be a really, really close relationship. So obviously they were very close. So they believed that Anissa had taken this on. This is why Anissa is out today. She actually lives with her father and no longer a threat to the community because she's no longer under this delusion that was fed to her by Morgan. Yeah. So where does this case go from here? Now that Morgan has escaped court supervision and been apprehended, is she going to prison? Is she going back to the mental hospital? I imagine they're going to have her examined by a psychiatrist. I don't know how this is even going to play out. We will have to wait and see. So that's the show for today. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to, hey, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, I think you may have noticed there is a QR code right here. If you scan that, it will take you to my merchandise store where I am selling diamond paintings. Actually, the diamond paintings are going to be released on Black Friday, including 3 sets of mini diamond paintings. And I have other merchandise. Check it out right there. All right. Have a great Thanksgiving, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.